What is happening, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of building my ultimate dream setup version 2. This is pretty much where we left off on the previous video. If you guys saw part 1, I custom designed a frame that essentially gives a really clean floating look without the visibility of the triangle brackets on the bottom. It came out looking majestic, but we are currently just waiting on my headboard and tabletop to arrive so I can continue working on the setup. Unfortunately, I got some bad news. It got delayed for another 2 weeks, so that kind of sucks because my setup is in shambles. I'm not able to use it and enjoy it until those 2 pieces arrive. But like usual, I hate wasting time, so we can work on some other aspects of the setup first until we wait for the 2 tabletops to arrive. I waited longer for this than my Cybertruck, guys. Okay, that's a lie, but it's finally here. This is the Immersion A3, Hexgear's brand new low-profile keyboard with a 10 keyless design. It's packed with all the features you could wish for. Hot swappable switches, anti-ghosting technology, RGB backlighting for an immersive gaming experience, macros, a display screen with GIFs and general controls, and a battery that lasts up to 50 hours on a single charge. Damn! You can connect it wirelessly with Bluetooth or with the 2.4 GHz wireless adapter. But for the best experience, I do recommend using the USB-C cable to get less than 1 millisecond latency with every key press. I can feel my reaction time getting better playing finals with the boys. Combined with a super sleek design, it allowed me to fully focus on the game. I was immersed, to say the least. If you want to be one of the first to get your hands on it, the Immersion A3 will launch on August 26th. But just for my subscribers, Hexgear is providing you guys with a 15% discount code for a limited time if you click the link down below. The good news though is that I got the rest of my monitors. The other 3 came in a few days ago. So we got the 32-inch 4K monitor from LG, which will be my primary, and not 1, but 2 monitors for my secondaries or side displays. Let's unbox the LG monitor first because this is gonna be my primary. And normally I would have gone with the 27-inch for my primary, but because we have 3 inches more depth with this current desk layout and the monitor is gonna be a lot further away from me, I feel like a 32-inch is gonna be perfect. Disconnect the Ultralight for now. Okay, so that's basically where the monitor is going to be mounted, flat against the headboard once I get that. And the distance here is perfect. We are basically about 29-30 inches from the monitor. It feels like a 27-inch monitor if it were up close, if it were sitting over here. But because I'm sitting so far away from it, that's the main reason why I decided to upgrade to a 32-inch display. A 27-inch over there, where the 32-inch is right now, it would have been just way too far. Oh yeah, I can get used to this. I can get used to this. This is perfect. This is gonna be slightly lowered though, probably at this height, just so we can make room for the Ultralight on the top. That's what it's gonna look like. Perfect. All right, now let's unbox my side monitors. See what this is gonna look like. This monitor has such a weird color scheme to it. Like, I love that they're trying to add some white to it, but why put the white in the back when you can't even see it and only add white to the neck piece instead of the base as well? Like, the only thing, you can't even see the white in the front actually. Look at that. That defeats the actual purpose of putting any white color on the monitor. At least you should have made the bezel white. I mean, once you take out the stand, you're not gonna see any of the white unless you look at the monitor from an angle. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, it's got swivel, that's good, and you could rotate it 90 degrees on both sides. But you know what? It's a lot thinner than my previous monitor, so I'm gonna keep this black just for consistency. All right, so I got all monitors hooked up. This is pretty much what the setup's gonna look like plus the ultralight on top, slightly tilted downwards. You guys can kind of visualize what it's going to look like or what I'm going for, minus the extra spacing between the displays for the speakers, which I will add in later in the video. But one thing I forgot to mention about the LG monitor is that I can either run it at 4K at 240 Hertz, or I can do 1080p at 480 Hertz. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Personally, I'm never gonna play in 1080p. I don't care how high the refresh rate is, okay? I think 1080p is gonna look absolutely atrocious on this beautiful display anyways. To me, 240 Hertz is more than plenty, and I want to be able to enjoy the graphics as well. Like I got a 4090 in my system, so 1440p at 240 Hertz is the sweet spot for me, and I'm gonna stay at that, at least for the main display. Now, my outer monitors are the exact same size and spec as my previous ViewSonic displays, except that they are now OLED. In fact, I've pretty much upgraded all my displays to OLED now, but I still get the same 27-inch 1440p at 240 Hertz, but they are faster because they're OLED, so 0.03 millisecond response time now, as opposed to only 1 millisecond before. So definitely all worthy upgrades from my previous setup. One of the biggest changes coming from my previous setup is the speaker placement. I just wasn't really happy with the speakers being on the outer side. It was kind of being blocked off by the outer monitors, and I wasn't getting the full sound experience. So this time I'm actually going to put them in between the primary and the outer displays on both sides. So we'll push this over here and squeeze this right over here. I just don't know if I should tilt it towards me or keep it straight like this. I feel like we should tilt it so it follows the curve path of the outer monitors. I think this will look a lot better. Now, obviously, one of the drawbacks of placing the speakers between the monitors is that now you have spacing between each display, and I am completely okay with that, because in return I get a much better sound experience, and that to me is way more valuable than attaching monitors together. Honestly, it's just something I gotta get used to, because the past 2 years I've had old monitors seamlessly attached together with no bezels in between, but not a big deal. I think this layout is definitely gonna be more functional to me in the long run. The only other thing I gotta do is tilt the speakers so that they are hitting my ears and not hitting my chest. And we're gonna do that by using the Kanto desktop speaker stands I picked up from Amazon. One thing I love about these stands is that they come with screws so that you can attach it to the speaker from the bottom. That way the speaker is not moving back and forth. But we're not gonna hook it up just now because we're still figuring stuff out. Oh, that angle's beautiful. Let's go. I'm gonna get the ultimate eargasm every single time I'm watching a video or listening to music. I mean, this is just, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. Okay, next thing I wanna do is figure out the cable length situation. Now, obviously the PC is far away from the rest of my gear, so we wanna measure and make sure there's gonna be enough distance between the back of the motherboard port to the back of the gear. Most of the time, I'm not able to use the stock cable because it's just too short, so I have to actually replace it and get something that's at least 6.5 to 10 feet long. So this is just some of the new gear that I am going with for my new setup. We got the new Stream Deck Neo from Elgato. We got the Facecam Pro, which is basically a 4K webcam so that I can stream. My new audio interface from MiniFuse 1. Yes, I did get this mostly because it's white. And we're gonna be adding a few Keylight Minis as well. So let's start with the MiniFuse. I mean, it's got an A rating, so it should be good. We'll test the quality of it, obviously. If it's complete garbage, I will send it back and go back to my old one. But this looks clean, I'm not gonna lie. Damn, that looks clean. I just wish the XLR port was in the back and not the front, but I'll deal with it, not a big issue. Oh, that's so cute. I didn't think it was this small. I mean, the pictures looked pretty small, but this is super tiny. It's got a little kickstand as well. Okay, I can, oh no! The cable's attached. Shoot, that's gonna be an issue. You have no choice but to work with the cable length. All right, let's just put this aside for now. Don't tell me this one's attached too. Okay, good. This one's separated. Okay, we'll put the stand on here just for now, but I'm actually going to be attaching this to the headboard. All right, the cable is definitely too short, so let's go ahead and swap it out. Just don't fall down and die. I can't see the hole. USB 2 detected. Connect to USB 3. What? Okay, I'm getting a very weird message that says USB 2 detected, connect to USB 3, which makes absolutely no sense because I plugged it in the back of the USB-C. So it's faster speeds than USB 3. See, this is why this process is so freaking crucial. Testing things out, making sure everything works before running cables through the walls or drilling into the wall or the headboard. So now I gotta figure out why this cable is not working. I'll have to try something different. All right, folks, the rest of the cables have arrived for the rest of my setup. So I figured out the issue with the face cam cable. I wasn't using a fast enough cable. So this is a Type-C 3.2 gen cable with speeds of up to 20 gigabits per second. So I plugged this in the back of the motherboard and check it out, it works. No lag whatsoever. Oh yeah, we are back in business. We are back in business. I actually just realized it's gonna be such an awesome backdrop with my wife's setup when I'm streaming, so that is freaking cool. I also got my Stream Deck Neo hooked up and installed. This is connected to the USB hub with a USB-C cable extension. And I also have my audio interface connected to the USB hub as well. This will be going right here next to the Stream Deck Neo, just so I have easy access to the gain controls and also the volume for my headphones. But I don't like that the XLR port is in the front. So you can have this nasty cable sticking out from the front. But I did find a right angle adapter on Amazon. Check this out. This plugs in like this. And then I can route this cable towards the back. I mean, it's not the cleanest, obviously. I'm gonna add like a cable clip over here, but it's gonna be 1,000 times better than something like this. As far as the XLR cable I'm going with, check this out. I managed to find the cleanest all white XLR cable on Amazon, that even the connectors and the clips are in white. All right, now it's time to hook up my microphone back to the setup. I'll be sticking to my Electro Voice RE20, which I painted in white. It is a fantastic microphone. I'm really happy with it, so there's no need for me to upgrade this. However, I will be upgrading the boom arm because I want to go with a low profile arm instead of the overhead style. But the problem is most low profile boom arms are not long enough. I have a very long desk, so I found one on Amazon, probably the only one on Amazon that has a long enough reach. I think it has a long enough reach. It doesn't have any measurements, but just based off the pictures, I think it's gonna be just fine, but obviously we're gonna find out. So this is called the Twist Boom Arm. I don't know if that's the actual, oh no, the company name is called Thron Max. And I managed to find one in white as well, so let's unbox this and see if it's gonna be perfect for my setup. Not looking good. I don't think this is going to be long enough, unfortunately. This is so annoying, dude. Like, why don't they make boom arms longer than 28 inches? That seems to be the standard length. Some people have long desks, okay? They want to attach their mic arm like at the edge of the desk, not over here on the front. They want to attach it on the side so it's cleaner, so you can just route the cable, you know, towards the back. But I can't seem to find one, and I thought this was it based off the pictures, but clearly it's not. So I'm gonna have to do some more digging. I might have to buy another one of this, take the bottom portion of the new boom arm and connect it to this one just so I can extend the reach by another like 15 inches. I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to do, unfortunately. But we'll leave it as is for now and attach the XLR cable just to test and see if the mic still works. Okay, let's do a quick sound test to make sure everything is working just fine. I got the microphone plugged into my Arturia audio interface, and this is usually how close it would be to my mouth when I do have my boom arm in. So I'm gonna pretend to play a game, make sure that it doesn't pick up any keyboard clicks or mouse clicks. So here we go. They're coming in. I could hear them. There are 4 dudes. They're penetrating. They're penetrating hard. They're in. They're in. They're on me. I need heals, guys. I need heals. They're on me. And that's a wipe. That is just an average finals game with the squad. So I'm going to stay quiet for a bit, see if you can pick up any noises from my wall-mounted PC. Yeah, I mean, just as expected, the sound quality combo between the Arturia and the RE20 is fantastic. I couldn't be happier. The only thing I noticed is that they actually sent the wrong length cable. They gave me the 6 feet instead of the 12 feet that I ordered, which is why it wasn't long enough to route towards the back. But when I do get the longer cable, it will go underneath the desk and underneath these cable raceways for the boom arm, and it will plug directly into the microphone. All right, last but not least, I'm going to be adding some RGB strips to the setup. I'm going to be ditching the Govee strips and going with the brand new Elgato Lightstrip Pros, because the Elgato ones are not as bright and the Govee glide bars were very chunky and difficult to work with. And I'm not going to be going with the Philips Hue like I use with my wife's setup, because those are really overpriced, I'm sorry to say. These are much more affordable, and I'm going to be on the same ecosystem as Elgato because I'm going to be using their Keylight Minis. I already got the Facecam Pro and the Elgato Stream Deck Neo, so having everything on just one app is going to make it so much easier for me to control. And the cool thing about these light strips is that you can cut them anywhere to achieve the perfect length. Look how close the contact points are with each other. You're basically guaranteed to get the precise length that you're going for. Now, since the frame is already attached to the wall and it's got a conveniently flat surface all around, I thought it'd be a good idea to attach the RGB strip on the flat surface, starting from the left side and essentially going around the entire frame. This will give a very nice but soft underglow behind the headboard. Luckily, it's also magnetic, so you don't have to use the adhesive strip if you don't want to. As long as you have a magnetic surface, it will easily attach to it, as you can see. So that's cool. The only downside is that it's not going to be long enough to cover the entire perimeter of my frame. So I'm going to be using 2 strips for the top and 1 strip for the bottom of the desk. This makes it very easy to adjust if I need to. Okay, we got to halfway. I wonder if I can put the controller inside the frame. Oh, you can! I did not plan for that, but it actually works. Nice. Okay, 1 strip is installed. Let's go ahead and test it out. 3, 2, 1. Not bad, considering we're barely at 50% brightness. So let's go ahead and max it out. Oh yeah, that's it. That's gonna look so good once the headboard is on. I can't believe this 1 strip replaced like 6 Govee glide bars. Okay, let's go ahead and add the 2nd strip over here. I wish there was a way we can add extensions so I can use 1 long strip as opposed to 2 separate ones. Even if I look at the edge of one of these strips, you can see that there are 6 pinholes, which tells me that there is some way to extend these strips. But the thing is, the Elgato website doesn't have any extension strips for the Lightstrip Pros. They only have it for their previous generation light strips. So I'm hoping that they're gonna add some within the next few months. If they do, I'll go ahead and remove one of the strips since it's magnetic and just extend the 1 strip. That way I only have 1 cable being plugged into the wall outlet. Okay, both strips are hooked up. Let's give it one final test. 3, 2, 1. Nice. The lighting on this setup is gonna be next level, you guys, okay? If you thought the lighting on my last setup was great, you have no idea what's to come. And you know what, guys? I'm proud to report that the frame itself is holding up on its own quite well, even with all this junk on top of it. The only thing missing is an additional 60-pound table and the top ultralight, which I think is about 20 pounds or so. But so far, no bowing or nothing. It is straighter than me. What the? So I'm confident that the frame has the structural integrity to support this entire setup. And one more thing, I know there's gonna be some of you in the comment section asking about this really cool wrist rest that I've been teasing in the past few videos. So guys, this is the official TechSource acrylic wrist rest, and we currently only have these available for 65% boards. And one of the reasons why I like the frosted acrylic material over the fabric that I've been using before is that these get dirty and there's no way to clean them. Whereas over here, you can just wipe it down with a paper towel. And also, it doesn't cover up your mouse pad, so you can clearly see the design right through it, as opposed to a solid material, as you guys can see here. But yeah, we're very happy with the quality of this. It's even got 4 rubber feet on the bottom, so it prevents slipping on your desk. And depending on how well the orders do, we might make one for TKL and full-size boards later in the future. But if you guys want to pick one up, I will drop a link to it down below. I know the setup doesn't look like much. In fact, it looks like a tornado has been through this place multiple times, but it is a work in progress. We're still waiting on the tables to arrive. In fact, they'll be here in the next 2 days. I got a notification today that they shipped it. So part 3 will be most likely the finale. We're gonna put everything together, we're gonna decor the rest of the wall, and I will bring you guys the full reveal. So make sure you subscribe with notifications if you don't wanna miss out. Links to everything I use in the setup will be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.